بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. The Battle of Badr is over, and those who were honored to participate in it were known throughout the history by the label of Badri, a man who participated in the Battle of Badr. And they had a status different than those who did not fight. And there's a hadith where Gabriel, peace be upon him, the archangel, came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, Muhammad, who or what do you consider those who fought with you in Badr? So the Prophet says, ﷺ, we consider them to be among the elite of us. Gabriel said, so is the same way that we consider the angels who fought on the day of Badr to be also among the elite of the angels. And this was also apparent in the dealings of the Prophet ﷺ with the companions. It was reported that Hatib ibn Abi Balta'a, may Allah be pleased with him, on the day of conquering Mecca, which was on the 8th year of Hijrah. When the Prophet was just about ﷺ to go and conquer Mecca, he sent a message with a woman warning the people of Mecca. Of course, this was considered to be grand treason. It's something that is unacceptable. Allah Azza wa Jal revealed that to his messenger, and the woman was caught, and the message was brought forward to the Prophet ﷺ, and he brought Hatib. And he told him, Hatib, why did you do this? The Prophet did not execute him. He did not accuse him. He just interrogated him. Why? Maybe he has a justification that is acceptable. He said that, O Prophet of Allah, I knew that Allah Azza wa Jal will grant you victory. I had no doubt at all in my mind. The Quran was there. It tells us that Allah will open the doors for you, and Allah will grant you a victory that is second to none. So I knew that you will prevail. But because I'm not originally from Mecca, and I was just passing through, or I was just recently living among them, I wanted to have a favor so that in the future, whenever my name is mentioned, they would say, oh yes, Hatib tried to help us. Though I know that it would not add anything of value to them, because you will prevail. Umar ibn al-Khattab, immediately, may Allah be pleased with him, came up with his sword and requested the permission to behead him. He just said, Prophet of Allah, let me chop his head off. The guy is a traitor. He said, Umar, Hatib is a Badri. He is among those who fought on the day of Badr. And all those who fought on the day of Badr were clear and high-ranking companions of the Prophet ﷺ. And this shows us that those who fought on the day of Badr were not any other companion. They were among the very elite. Now, after going back to Medina, the Prophet ﷺ was faced with 4 fronts. The front of the polytheists of Mecca, the front of the Jews in Medina, the front of the hypocrites who were among the Muslims, and they looked like them, they spoke like them, and pretended to be Muslims, but they're waiting and anticipating the right moment to wage their war and attack against Islam. And the 4th front was the Bedouins, the nomads, who were surrounding Medina. Once they saw what happened to the pagans of Mecca, some of them wanted to avenge their brothers in polytheism. So the Prophet ﷺ had to launch preemptive attacks so that they would not have any ideas here or there. And the first was Banu Sulaym. His reconnaissance expeditions came back to him, the Prophet ﷺ, and told him that the tribe of Banu Sulaym are getting their forces ready to invade Medina. And this was a serious thing. So the Prophet ﷺ went off with 200 riders, and they went in what is known as the battle or the expedition of Qudr. And he went to Bani Sulaym in the second year of Hijrah, immediately after Badr, about 7 days after the Battle of Badr in Shawwal. You want to say something?
Is a place or a name of something?
Usually they name the place either by a water there, a well of water, because it's desert. So whenever they have an oasis or a well or a landmark, they would call it after that area. So the Prophet went there 7 to 10 days after the Battle of Badr, and once he went there, he did not find anyone. They knew of his coming, so they scattered on the hilltops and on the mountains and the caves, and they left their village and they left their country. The Prophet ﷺ captured 500 camels they left behind, and he gave every warrior 2 camels as a booty. And he stayed there for 3 days. Again, it's an Arabian tradition that you stay at the battlefield waiting and declaring that this is a sign of courage. We're waiting for you to come back and fight if you were men enough. And they didn't, of course. When he went to Medina, he was also faced, ﷺ, attempts of the Jews undermine anything that was Islamic. One of their rabbis, one of their leaders, was named Shas ibn Qais. He was a very, very old man, yet very defiant. He would not accept Islam. He would not let the Muslims be. So he used his influence and tactics, trying his best to put hatred back again in the hearts of the Muslims. As you remember, before Islam came to Medina, there were 2 rival tribes, the Aus and the Khazraj. And they had wars that lasted more than 100 years among them. And it's called Harb Bu'ath. And they used to have poetry, and everyone was proud with the achievements of his people and his tribe. When Islam came, they all melted together. And they were put in this one mold of Islam. They had the feelings of brotherhood and love among them. Shas ibn Qais did not like this. So he sent one of his youngsters, a Jew, and he told him, there's this gathering of the Aus and the Khazraj where they usually gather and sit and talk brotherly. So go inside and try to get them to hate each other once again. Try to provoke them by saying poems of old times.
To remind them.
Reminding them of the bad things. So the man went. And as soon as he sat with them, and they were talking and, having fruit, he started asking them about the war of Bu'ath. So everyone was contributing. Yes, we did this, and they did that, and this battle took place, and they betrayed the treaties, and they did this. And all of a sudden, in no time, each one was taking sides. Everyone was taking the side of his tribe. So they were saying poetry, and they said, yes, we did this. No, our men are stronger. You killed our uncles. You did this. And all hell broke loose. And they were just at the bridge of fighting together. So they said, okay, we'll go and get armor, and we'll meet on so-and-so location if you think you are man enough. So put your money where your mouth is. And they went to gather their army. And the Prophet ﷺ heard about that. What did he do? This is, inshallah, what we will learn after the break.
Quran
is the divine word of Allah. It is the final revelation to humanity. It is a means of healing, both spiritually and physically. Whosoever abides by it is guided. To ponder and reflect on its beautiful verses.
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم.
Join me on Tafsir al-Quran al-Kareem.
Appreciate the significance of tafsir to realize the essence of the Quran in Tafsir of Quran. Tonight at 8:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 8:30 a.m. India on Peace TV.
Where truth is hidden, misleading quotations create confusion. Where truth is hidden, lack of knowledge and wisdom cause upheaval and commotion. Where truth is hidden, manipulated scriptures and twisted facts emerge. This very hidden truth creates false propaganda, mayhem, chaos, disorder, and turmoil in our lives and the world order. But is there anyone with courage and wisdom? What is the truth and who has the courage to expose it? Because it's your right to know the truth.
Watch truth prevail and lies perish in Truth Exposed by Dr. Zakir Naik. Every Sunday to Friday at 9 p.m. and repeat telecast at 7:30 a.m. India on Peace TV.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا. You as a person are a mirror that reflects your faith. Your deeds are a reflection of what you believe.
The fasting, the Hajj, the prayer. Join Abdur Rahim McCarthy in Reflections on Islam. Next on Peace TV.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. Now, the Prophet ﷺ heard about the feud that was about to take place between the Aus and the Khazraj. And he came to them just before they were to fight. And he said, aren't you afraid of Allah? I'm amongst you. I'm with you. And Allah Azza wa Jal has saved you from hellfire. And you want to go back again? So the minute they saw the Prophet ﷺ and they heard what he said, they embraced each other again and dropped their swords. And Banu Qaynuqa and the Jews knew that they failed again. And throughout the time, they used to mock about Muslims. Whenever Muslims passed by their souks, they used to talk and laugh and mock of them and slander them and tease them. And this is not what the Prophet ﷺ agreed with them to do. He agreed with them that they should remain in their houses, in their trade, not to assault or to support those who are assaulting Islam. Yet they were not complying. So many times the Prophet ﷺ went to them and gathered their elderly, and he advised them, this is not the way you should behave. They would not comply. They would say to him, in his face, Muhammad, do you think that we are like those you fought in Badr, of the people of Quraysh? They're old people, they're bold people. They don't have, not bold in the sense that they're brave, they have no hair on their head, they're so old and clumsy.
They don't have the skills of fighting.
they're not like us. We are men of war. And they were saying the truth. They were men of war. They were blacksmith and they were goldsmith. They worked in jewelry and preparing weaponry, making pots and so on. So they had the finance, they had the ability to make the weaponry, and they had the weapons themselves. And they were composed of 700 extremely well-trained fighters, strong, well-armed. So they kept on facing the Prophet ﷺ and challenging him that there's nothing you can do about that. We're not like the people of Quraysh. We're way different than them. And in one incident, and this provoked the war against Bani Qaynuqa, they never honored the treaties with the Prophet ﷺ. In one incident, one woman, Muslim woman, went to buy something from their market. As she was sitting and looking at the merchandise and here and there, one of them came from behind her and tied a dress to the back of her head without her noticing and feeling that. So the minute she stood up, it was revealing to the people watching that her back was exposed. And they started laughing and enjoying what they're seeing. So she cried out. And one Muslim brother was there, and he could not tolerate this. So he went to the Jew who did this, and he killed him. So all the Jews came back and killed that Muslim. And as we can see, there is the photo of the location of the map and where Banu Qaynuqa used to be, their houses and their fortresses, because the Jews had fortresses like and compounds. The minute they killed the Muslim brother, then this meant that the treaties were all broken. The Prophet ﷺ came to them and he surrounded their fortresses and their village for 15 days. Subhanallah, Allah the Almighty had thrown the terror in their hearts. With all their soldiers and armor, they could not fight the Muslims.
No one of them came out to fight the Muslims?
No, they were so scared. They were terrified. They could not do this. And why was that? First, they knew they were wrong. Second, Allah Azza wa Jal always support the Muslims. Because when you are at the side of Allah, no one can beat you. No one can defeat you. But you have to be 100%, well actually you have to be 110% at the side of Allah, the Almighty. So for 15 days, the village of Banu Qaynuqa was besieged. Prophet ﷺ was surrounding it. After 15 days, they dropped their arms and said, we will accept the judgment of the Prophet ﷺ. Khalas, we surrender. And they came out.
And you said they were strong and they had sword and everything.
It was all in vain.
Yeah.
All of their strength was in vain. They could not utilize it. They could not use it because they were petrified. They had two allies of theirs, Ubad ibn Samit, who was a Muslim, and Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul, who was a pretending Muslim. He was a hypocrite. Ubad ibn Samit, once they did what they've done, he declared that he is not an ally of them anymore. They are the enemies of Allah. Abdullah ibn Ubay did not do this because he was afraid that someday he may need their armor and their strong men to protect him. So when they accepted the ruling of the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ordered them to go to exile, and he kept their wealth and property. So they can only go with the kids, with their wives. And they, as we are told, went to an area called Udru'at or Udri'at in the Sham area. The stories say that not 1 year passed before they were all dead naturally. Now this 1 down, 2 to go from the Jews, because we had 3 tribes of the Jews: Banu Qaynuqa, Banu Qurayza, and Banu al-Nadir. Now, not all the Jews were alike. There was a very famous Jew scholar. Do you know the name of him?
Abdul bin Salam.
Abdullah ibn Salam. He was among the most prominent Jews at the time when the Prophet ﷺ came to Medina. So, but he was a fair person. And he was an objective person. When the Prophet came ﷺ, he said to himself that I've read the books of the Torah. So he said that I would like to listen to what this man has to say. And he tells us that the minute I saw the Prophet ﷺ, I recognized that his face is not a face of a liar. And this is something, it's a gut feeling, you know. When you talk to someone, this guy is bluffing, he's saying lies, or he's saying the truth.
Yeah,
the
you
minute
can tell by his eyes, his talk and his face, you can tell by
the Prophet ﷺ is a prophet. So you cannot deny this. The minute you see him, you recognize him. So he said, I immediately knew that he was not a liar. And I heard him say, O people, pray while the people are asleep. Feed the hungry. Connect your kinship. And spread peace, and Allah Azza wa Jal will make you enter paradise. So these three things, you will enter paradise in peace. Immediately, he went to the Prophet ﷺ, asked him a few questions, and he embraced Islam. Though he was a scholar of the Jews and among their prominent clergymen, when he embraced Islam, he told the Prophet ﷺ, now that you know that I'm a Muslim, I'd like to request from you to call all the leaders of the Jews and their scholars and let me stay behind the curtain and ask